Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. So just a couple of days ago, I reviewed these JoyToy X Warhammer Ultramarine Intercessors. Today I'm looking at Blood Angel Death Company Intercessors. Now, I suspect these will be almost identical, just different head sculpts and different colouring. Having said that, I can see there's a lot more chainswords on these. But we'll have a look at this and then we'll compare them to these ones and see what differences there are. So let me open this, unbox it, turn the camera around and let's get into this review. Okay, here they are in all their glory and they do look fantastic. So first thing to note, if I compare these to the Ultramarine Intercessors who we saw a few moments ago in the introduction, they are basically the same model in terms of articulation. They're going to be the same. In terms of the armor, they are the same. Obviously the paint work is different. They're both Intercessors, that's why they're similar. There are some small differences, so particularly on the Sergeant, because he has this pad here on his shoulder, or that emblem there on his shoulder. The mast helmets are the same, just different paint job, but that's not a bad thing because these are particularly awesome, very, very well painted. The actual paint job on the figures, I don't want to call it a black, it's incredibly dark grey, and obviously they've got a light grey highlighting on the edges to pick up some details. Let's have a look at the head sculpts. So here's the first guy. It's a decent head sculpt with that mask there. Looks pretty cool. Let's come to our second guy. Again, pretty cool. Nice so far. And again, as I said in the video when I did the Ultramarine Intercessors, JoyToy have really upped their head sculpts on these compared to their first batch of Incursors and Infiltrators. This guy's really, really good. And you see that you can take the ammo out of the guns. He's sort of trying to load his gun here, before he can shoot again. But that's a nice head sculpt. Then we come to the Sergeant. There we go. Again, nice head sculpts and good inking there. Though you can obviously touch up and do better. Got like the Ultra, or this one Ultra, is it ULTR on his gun there. Looks pretty. That might even be his name. I didn't look in the box. So they all look really, really quite cool. This is a fantastic looking set. You see the guns have slings. So you can. The guns have slings, so you can you can sling over the shoulders. They all have the same, well, not all exactly the same weapons. They all come with the same pistol, which is being reloaded by this guy here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. They all come with the chain swords, and the chain swords are, for all intents and purposes, I can see the same. And then the guns, the main guns are 2 different types or the same. Let's have a look. Two different types. So this one's got the part on the bottom, and the other ones don't have that part underneath. Amazing looking figures. Now what I'll do now is I'm going to change their heads over off cam to save you a bit of time, and then I'll go for the articulation, and then we'll do a quick comparison with their Ultramarine counterparts, and then we'll go from there. So let me change the heads over off cam and be back in an instant for you. Here we go. Heads are swapped. A couple of poses changed to show their dynamic posing. So the head is the same as their Ultramarine counterparts. eyes look particularly effective. And you can see that the two on the right, I've done some dynamic posing. So this guy is running, and not only is he running, he's running and trying to reload at the same time. So very, very cool and easy to pose. And this guy was sort of doing a unrealistic kick with his gun in the air, but he can balance that very easy. So they've got big feet, good articulations. They are particularly good for posing in different dynamic poses. Right, so I'm going to go for the articulation now, in case you didn't see the Ultramarines one, because the articulation on these will be the same. And then after that, I'll do a quick side-by-side shot with some of the other figures, just to get an idea of how they all look together. That obviously they're in different armies. They're all for the Empire. Apparently, this guy's not for the Empire, or maybe he was just bowing down for the Emperor. Okay, so here he is. Our running guy is now no longer going to be running, and I'll have him actually inserting the clip properly this time. There we go. He is ready to show you what he can do. Clip is going in. And then the last two, same pose. But what I'll do, I'll take this guy, take off his gun and his chainsword, and we'll look at his articulation. So here he is. So he has head left, right, up, down, and it is a side to side. On the backpack, these parts do turn, but they are a little bit stiff. Be nice if they went outwards as well. His head, is it coming off? Yeah, it's come off. I need to push it in a bit more tightly first of all, so it sort of clicks into place onto the barbell joint. There we go. Arms do go all the way around, but arm has to go out to go around his backpack. Shoulders, these are articulated, these parts here. And also you see his arm part does come out quite a way, which does aid in getting a better angle on the sides. They don't get flat, they don't get 180. Bicep bend is good, but with having these shoulder pads on, it does limit it. But if I turn his arm that way and go inside the shoulder pad, you can see that he gets over 90, otherwise it's about 90. They have bicep twist. Wrists are on a barbell in here and here, so they can turn, and they have articulation in every direction. I love that system. They have trunk, so forwards, backwards, side to side, and turn. They have a separate waist. Legs go about that far before you pop off the thigh, which is an easy job to pop back on. Forwards is pretty good. Backwards is small. There's a thigh twist. There's a double kneecap. So even with his really, really chunky legs, he does get a good bend. But you have that little awkward looking piece there. Feet have boot turn. They have tippy toe, Michael Jackson. Dong, 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 dong. And they have good... Well, they have dorsiflexation. What says good dorsiflexation? They can lean forwards a little bit as well. And they also have this toe joint here, so they can balance on their toes in certain poses if need be. So articulation is fantastic considering the bulk and size. They do look great. Okay, so now I'm going to have a quick pause again, so instant for you guys, and get their counterparts in and get the Librarian in, and I'll get one of the original Ultramarine figures in too. If I can fit them all in camera, I'll move back a little bit and let's see what they look like. So back in an instant. So here we are. Here are 10 of the 17 released JoyToy Warhammer 40k figures. I do have all 17. So there are 4 Blood Angels here. There are 4 Ultramarine Intercessors, Ultramarine Librarian, And this one, I can't remember if he's an Infiltrator or an Incursor. I'll have to look again, but fantastic looking figures. And I love the way that they've correctly, or properly, I should say, scaled the Librarian taller than the normal scaled Marines. Fantastic looking figures, highly recommended. They are costing a bit, but remember, these are licensed products. Licensed products are always more expensive than standard products. I think they've done a cracking job on these, and I can't wait for the Invictus Warsuit or Invictor Warsuit, the Space Wolves, the Chaos Marines and Terminators, and whatever else they're going to release in the future. Just cracking figures, worth it for any shelf display, or even want to do like a large scale game of Killzone, or spend thousands of pounds or whatever and do like a tabletop 40k battle, which would be awesome, but you need a huge table. Please click on the notification icons for up-to-date latest news, reviews, videos, etc., and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll be back soon with more awesome asteroid videos for you guys to see. Check out the videos, there's over 900 on their channel at present. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.